Hey y'all, this is Lynn with Paper Life, and I wanted to show you where I'm at with my November weekly prompt journal. Some of these I've done more than one a week, just kind of messing with it, but here's what I'm doing, and I'll do a page with you. So I haven't done anything with these yet. I should, but for right now they've just been randomly holding things that I want to use in the future. This was for the Are You a Fall Person? Just kind of a page about fall if you like it, if it's good or bad. Mine was leaves, and they're both good and bad. My to-do list. I'm kind of in the attempt to use this as almost just writing in it throughout the month. This was another one that I did for the first week. I said I love fall most of the time. I put a little pumpkin ribbon on the side and with some lace. This started my week 2, which was being thankful. Either writing things down that you're thankful for, whatever it is you wanted to do. This was a little index card that I did. It has my deer head on the front. And I wrote down a list of some of the things I was thankful for. These were the free printables that Kelly Simpson made for us in the group, which was so sweet. Loved it. Haven't done anything there yet. Just some fabric that was in my original journal when I made it. Here I put down just a book page with a flag napkin over the top. Used some clear matte gesso to seal it down so I can write over the top of this if I want to. And this was for Veterans Day, or just being thankful for our troops and what they do for us. So here's kind of where I want to finish off at, or what I want to do next. I'm going to take these 2 pages and they're going to make a pocket. So I'll just end up gluing across the top and the bottom in here so that these 2 pages get glued together. And I'm going to make a tag to go inside there. I found this picture and I loved it because it had like the little kid and the soldier coming home, the wife or girlfriend being excited to see him. And to me that's a lot to do with, you know, giving thanks to our soldiers is also giving our thanks to their family, because, you know, they deal with a lot as well. I could not imagine being in their shoes. So I found that picture. My ink for my printer is inkjet, and I always tease that if you say the word water around it, it'll make the ink run. And it probably will. So what I like to do is, if I'm going to be working with a wet medium, is I spray it with some clear acrylic, being clear spray paint. It just seals it in so that I don't run on it as much or as easily. I bought this bag of just scrap fabric when I was up visiting a friend up in Indianapolis. Hello, I miss your stores. So I just kind of picked out some in kind of that brown hue color, just because I want to add some thickness to this photo. And I just printed this on, it's probably 24 weight, just copy paper. Nothing fancy. It wasn't photo paper or anything like that. So I'm trying to find a piece that will give it a little extra strength along with some added detail. I think I like that piece. I might keep that piece out too. I don't know. So one of the things I really like doing is I like to layer up fabric, paper, book pages, any of that stuff behind pictures. It just adds, in my opinion, a little bit of interest to it. I have some of this dictionary page left over from my thankful page that I did, because Jeannie is doing a challenge with using a dictionary where she gives you a word and then you kind of decorate your dictionary page to go with that word. Well, I cheated. I didn't use her word because, you know, I'm going to be a rebel like that. I used thanks. Had Thanksgiving, had thankful, had all that good stuff on the dictionary page, and that is what I started my base of that page with. So I'm just ripping some of that excess page that I had so that I can kind of maybe, in theory, start to layer with this. And guys, if you want to cut this, if you want to use fancy scissors, whatever it is you want to do, go for it. I'm just, honestly, at this point, too lazy to get anything out. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So I like that. Let me see if I can locate. I'm using Colorbox, cheap, well, cheaper at least. Michael's brand, I think it's a house brand at Michael's craft store, but it's a archival ink, so it's waterproof. Again, just because I may use a wet medium, that's why I'm using that. If you don't have a archival or waterproof ink, again, ink it up and then spray it. Spray it with your clear spray paint. If you are worried about the colors mixing and bleeding and stuff like that. So I'm just distressing around. I'm going to get the back side just in case any of it lifts up. So the back side, I'm not really worried about it being pretty, because that's not how I'm doing this. Because I'm lazy like that. Alright, so let's see. I think I want it somewhere in that realm. Tacky glue. Any glue you want to use. I mean, you probably, something like a Mod Podge might have been easier because, well, one, your bottle may not be empty like mine is, or lower. Sorry, my dryer just decided to ding at me because you could do all this in one shot, but I wasn't sure where I was going to lay down, so I'm doing it that way. So now I have that on there. I don't know why, but I have that on there. I'm not going to sew around this. A lot of times I would do a little bit of stitching just because it adds a little something in my opinion. But I don't feel like trying to get my sewing machine up on, let's see, my little work area. So we're not going to do that. So I'm just using these big scissors that do not want to work with me really, and trimming around the edges so it doesn't fray as bad. So I'm going to go about halfway down this side. like so, and probably about halfway down this one. So you can tell, very, matter of fact, my cutting is horrible. Only about a quarter of an, about a quarter of an inch off there, nothing major. I feel like that's kind of good for me, actually. Okay, really? Really? I don't know what I'm doing with this yet. Maybe something kind of like that. Hello, come on, glue. I have a mason jar over here just so I can put my glue in it upside down. But of course I never remember to do that step. You could use something like a Fabri-Tac. It would hold this a little quicker. It would do just as good of a job, if not better. For right now, I'm not really worried about it. Alrighty. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I remembered to put my glue bottle in the mason jar. Yeah. It's sticking to my fingers. Okay, just kind of pressing that down. I have a rolly tool somewhere. Where's my rolly tool? There it is. Really, Thor, you don't say. He just decided to roll over, so of course he had to grumble. So that's just kind of my front part of it. I have somewhere, I don't know where, I punched out. Okay, I don't know where it is, so I'm going to punch another one. I have one of the tab punch. You can use a envelope punch to also do it. You could just take a file folder and sketch around the outside. To be honest, that's what I do most of the time, but I guess today I'm trying to be fancy. I'm trying to be fancy. Work with me. Trying to be fancy. This is what happens when I try to be fancy. Alright, behave. So I have that. I'm going to take and just snip the edges just a little bit, because I didn't put this completely in because I folded the paper over so it'd have, you know, one on each side of it. Because I believe what I'm going to do, maybe in concept, in theory, what I want to do is put this, add this onto the writing paper that'll be on the back so that it peeks out. So it just peeks out a little bit. Alright. I have to get my same rip on all the edges. Okay. Let's see. Right about in here ish. Okay, so I have a little piece of paper for writing. I'm going to glue this on the edge, I think. Just dress around this real quick. Okay. Alright, I have to try to remember. I want the tab on that side like that. Glue. Glue, I need my glue. You guys know me, I'm going to apply way more glue than what I need because that's just what I do. No, I almost put my glue right side. You can't stick to my finger. That's not okay behavior. Alright, I'm going to put a little more glue on the back side of here. Or a lot more glue because that's how I do it. And just kind of work that down onto there. Feels weird not sewing around all this, but that's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sew. No sewing. It's not allowed right now. So let's see. This will go in the pocket right here, and alright, so more of that sticking out than I had originally intended, but it's okay. It's okay, we don't see any of it, right? Let's whack some of this off. There we go, a little more like that. I am going to use some Fabri-Tac for making the pocket, just because I don't want to sit here and try to hold this forever. Now, I will say one of the things I have learned, remember that whole I am not real great at doing mixed media, or don't have a lot of experience at doing mixed media, is that the gesso that I've been using on my papers have wanted to kind of wrinkle the pages up. That's why I have a clip here holding these down, because as you can tell, it kind of wants to wrinkle them. But one of the things I've done, and it's helped a lot, is just put some weight on it to kind of give it some weight to hold it down. So at least I told you guys at the beginning that I am not an expert on this. Not even close, not remotely. I don't know what I'm doing. So that, like, journaling tag card, whatever you want to call it, will go in there like that. And then I'll have my next side to play with. But that is my being thankful for our veterans, our active service members, the families of them who, you know, all that they sacrifice for us. So on the back, you know, that's kind of what I'll write down. Thanking individual family members who served, that are still serving. That's just what I did for that one. I think on this, I'm going to go kind of more back to, maybe more back to my roots. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But there you go. That is my being thankful and veterans and I don't have anything else to say. Darn it, I ran out of things to say. I hope you guys all have a great day. Enjoy it. See ya back for another prompt.